Conference, an incredible ambassador for the American Tulane men's basketball, Sion James, the SAC president for the American, the NCAA SAC rep for the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Sion, great to have you here. Year 2 on the job in this role. How has it been different this year after having a whole year under your belt being the American SAC president?
Yeah, this year I feel so much more confident, a lot more experience. Last year was kind of thrown right into the fire, which is kind of the way I like it. You know, I feel like that's how a lot of my college career has been, just kind of thrown in the fire, figure it out. I'm really thankful for the group last year, and I've told them all this because they were with me in the figuring it out process. But now we've got a little more experience, got a little more feel, and I'm really excited for year 2.
What are some of the highlights and things that you've gotten to do over the past year? The list is lengthy, we know, of things that you're doing, but give us the Spark Notes version.
Yeah, for sure. In terms of the conference, we're really excited to just go into year 5 of Powerful Mind, which is our mental health campaign. It was great. We did so many fun things as a conference at schools. I know individual schools, for instance, at Tulane, we brought in coffee and beignets for the students last year as a little way to just relax during the day. Schools around the conference brought in speakers and all kinds of fun stuff. And I was just really glad to be part of that. Being the representative for the conference and playing all the conference schools, it really makes the American feel like home for me.
You mentioned Powerful Minds, the mental health initiative for the conference. It has, been around for the past several years, but why is it so important right now in this day and age in college athletics?
There's just so many stressors on the student athlete's shoulders. We're expected to not only be great in the classroom, great on the court, but we're public figures to a degree, and that's not something that 18 to 22-year-olds are necessarily ready for. Not to mention, there's just plenty of reasons for people our age to be stressed and anxious, and not everyone has the tools to do that. So as a conference, we really wanted to provide those opportunities for our student athletes. Dealing with mental health struggles is something that's not easy, and then adding sports on top of that and being expected to perform at the highest level. So we really want to do our part in the fight.
Another great initiative that you're a part of, Unity Week. It was started by the Racial Equality Action Group, but something that SAC has since taken over, and you put into practice, you came up with this idea, the conference-wide week of service as a part of Unity Week. What are some of the cool, unique things that are going to be going on around the different campuses?
It's going to be cool. Everyone's going to see so many cool, unique things that are really unique to the campus. The whole idea with the conference-wide week of service was that each school and each city does something that's really special for their community. For instance, at Tulane, we're looking to write Halloween cards and pack up Halloween candy bags for kids at the Autism Society of Greater New Orleans. We're super excited to be a part of that. I know schools around the conference have all kinds of incredible things planned for their students, and it's just going to be great to see all the things community service-wise that student athletes are doing all around the American. Everything's super unique to their city as well, so we're going to see a lot of creativity.
Where did the idea for the week of service come from?
Just in conversation with other student athletes around the conference. We talk pretty consistently about what everyone's doing on their own campuses, and we really just want to kind of unify that. And Unity Week was the perfect time to do it. We realized that student athletes all around the American are very passionate about community service, as am I, and this was the perfect opportunity to get media coverage and to get just eyes on the American and everything the student athletes are doing off the court and outside of their sport.
What are some of the other things that you're working on right now, some goals that you hope to accomplish here over the next several months, with your season about to get going here?
Yeah, obviously, there's always a push for community service. That's a passion of mine and something that kind of never stops. And then really, one of our big goals is to keep educating student athletes about their voices, because in the new governance structure for the NCAA, student athlete voice is louder and louder each and every single day. Plus, there's a lot of changes in terms of student athlete benefits, and I want all student athletes to know just the opportunities they have, that when they say something, it matters, and that their administrators and their athletic directors are listening to them, and more today than ever, people really want to hear our voice. The NCAA is changing, and our voice is something that they're really taking seriously, and I want student athletes around the American to know that their voice has power and their voice holds weight.
You're so involved with the American, with SAC, with things around New Orleans, giving back. Why is that idea of giving back so important to you? Where does that come from?
It's really been ingrained in me from who I am. My faith plays a big part in it. I believe in the greatest servant leader of all time, and when I follow him, those are the kind of things that really happen in my life. You know, leadership and really serving the community, something that I've always been passionate about because Jesus Christ himself came not to be served, but to serve.
And to think, you know, everything you're doing off the court, and then you also have the athlete piece to you as a men's basketball player at Tulane. You guys got to go over to China to represent Team USA, also representing Tulane in the World University Games. How would you describe that opportunity? What were some of the highlights from that trip?
It was unbelievable. It was such a good time. Probably one of my favorite trips that I've ever been on, athletically or otherwise, just because we got to hang out in a village with students from all over the world. You know, we walk into the village, the place we're staying, and we see the Romanian basketball team down there and the U.S. water polo team around the corner. Like, those things don't happen. That's so cool, super unique. And then at the games, there was so much love. Each of our games were sold out before days in advance. Everyone's cheering, just really excited to watch Team USA, but really watch Tulane basketball.
For you, we saw some of the highlights, poster dunks here and there. You know, what was the international competition? How was that experience different from anything like you've ever been a part of?
Yeah, it was really, really physical. And the refs were not, you know, the refs, they just kind of ref the game a little bit different. So that's something that we had to adjust to as well. You know, here we shoot a lot of threes, and that's kind of how we play in the U.S. and especially at Tulane. And over there is a lot more physical, so we kind of had to grind it out a little bit different, but it really showed us the different ways that we can play and win as a team.
How will you look to maybe take some of those things that you learned over there into this new season?
Yeah, we're just gonna be ready to go from the beginning. You know, the last few years we've kind of stumbled out the gates, and that's hurt us on the back end of the season, so this time we're ready to do it right this time. We feel like we have a perfect shot to go play in the NCAA tournament, and that's really our goal for the year.
I scoured social media, some of the cool things y'all got to do over there off the court, the Panda Sanctuary, the biggest mall in China. What was the highlight of the trip for you of the different experiences that you got to be a part of?
Oh, the pandas for sure. We got to walk around at a big panda sanctuary, and really the cool part there was that the locals were taking pictures of us. You know, it was super cool that we're in a sanctuary with hundreds of pandas, and we were an attraction just as well, taking pictures with teammates, locals. We were super excited to see athletes from the United States there. Plus we got to see the pandas just walking around and being silly. It was incredible.
Yeah, Sion James, a celebrity over there in China, I'm sure. You know, Sion, I've read some things about you. Dream job, you say that you want to be the future NBA commissioner. If you were to, and I'm sure with all that you've done, anything you put your mind to, you accomplish. So when you get that job one day, what will be the first move that you make, the first thing that you do in that office?
The first thing is just to continue to grow the game of basketball. You know, I truly love the sport, not only because of what it's meant for me and the way that it's allowed me to come to school and get an education, but I feel like basketball is really an outlet, and it's really just the way that people like me have gotten opportunities to do more than they would ever have had the chance to do. And the game of basketball is becoming a more international game, and that's something that I would love to push for. I would love for basketball to be on every corner of the earth. Everybody everywhere should have an opportunity to play basketball and to express themselves this way. And as the NBA in the face of global basketball, I would continue to push for that.
There's your pitch right there. I think job well done, and hope to see you in that office one day. Before we let you go, I do have one question left for you here. Ron Hunter, your head coach, very personable and bright, you know, big personality type guy. I'm curious, what's your favorite memory in your Tulane basketball career, favorite Ron Hunter story?
You know, it's funny. It's kind of two-folded. When I first came on my official visit to Tulane, we went to a seafood spot, and I'm not a huge seafood guy, but Coach Hunter was trying to get me to eat oysters, and the texture just wasn't doing it for me. I didn't like it, but you know, I was still young, and you know, I tried it, didn't like it whatsoever. And then fast forward a few years, now I'm hosting guys on their official visits, and I'm watching him ask them to eat oysters, and he's like, "Sion, try one," and I'm like, "No, I don't have to listen to you anymore. I did my job. I ate my oysters. I came here, we've been playing basketball, winning, it was a funny full circle moment for me.
Hey, I feel you. A No Oyster fan club over here as well. That's great. Love it. Really looking forward to seeing what you all can accomplish this season, and appreciate everything that you do for the American and for the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Thanks so much, Sion.
Absolutely. Always good talking to you.